It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, and we'll be watching the dynamic Tyreek Hill. Always staying busy, he's your league leader in receiving yards. It's the Dolphins and the Titans on Sunday night primetime.
Well, much of the country is struggling under cold temps and some of that white stuff. No such troubles here at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup on tap, as it'll be the Tennessee Titans taking on the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. It's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Titans, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
So here are the Titans now for their first drive. Bringing them out is a guy who has spent a decade as a starter in this league, the 2019 Comeback Player of the Year, Ryan Tannehill.
This guy's leadership is so important to how this offense functions. He doesn't shrink from any moments on game day, and everything he does with confidence. He sets the example in practice, off the field, and is the guy leading everyone out for each possession.
And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? Well, if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, you might be a little jumpy as well. Might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just...
Oh, his first throw of the game, going to be intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they proved their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play. The psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Steps away to his left. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Durham Smythe, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. He hasn't missed an extra point all season, and he won't miss this one either, and it's 7-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. And the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is, and his first throw of the game. But I like the way his guys rallied around him. Oftentimes, the quarterback is the leader, right? He tells everyone what to do. In this case, I noticed his linemen around him kind of patting him, saying, "Let's go, big boy. You're still our leader."
The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 22 carries, a trip to the end zone to go along with 118 yards.
11 touchdowns on the ground this season, and the pride really extends throughout the entire offense. And in this case, I'm focusing on the offensive line. The leverage, the ability to get downfield, make that extra block in order to give him more space to run. They really look forward to him carrying the football because they're going to get him to the end zone. And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
On first down, it's Tannehill. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First
blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
So third and long after the sack. Tough task for Tannehill and the Titans. They'll drop to throw. Caught left side, Hopkins. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down. On now is Ty Zentner to punt. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps.
There he goes, right side. Big strides, look at him go. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Dawson Knox, 69 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are. This team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Titans getting set to go. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They come up with exactly 1 minute to go in this first quarter. They begin with Henry. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play there. Second down. Out of the the gun, Tannehill.
Quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Derrick Henry, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And it's third down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
From the gun on third down, Tannehill. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up fourth.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away.
And this returnable for Hill.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Dolphin and football. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Flushed out right. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, partner, this offense 12-0 now on the year following their latest victory. And during the week, a lot of folks making comparisons between this squad and the 1985 Bears. You know, they too were 12-0 at this juncture of the season before losing on a Monday night 38-24 to the Dolphins at the Orange Bowl way back on December 2nd of 85. But then they never lose again en route to winning Super Bowl 20.
And when you look back on it, partner, didn't it almost feel like a setup game? Because they were playing the Dolphins, and the Dolphins were protecting their franchise's undefeated season of 1972, that team. And you know what that team does. They love to celebrate the fact that they still are the only one to get through an entire NFL season that way. That was Dan Marino's 3rd year, playing under the great Don Shula, and they were motivated to keep that franchise's record intact.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 25 yards that time.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is caught. And he has now tied the record. Touchdown.
Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Sanders on for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So that drive, 4 plays.
And it ends with a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look.
A CD after this game, there will be 4 weeks left in the regular season. So this is far from the final version of what we'll see come January, more of a first draft, if you will, as all these teams fight for a better position.
And you pointed it out so accurately there, Brandon. After this game, 4 weeks left in the regular season, and then the playoffs officially begin. But for some teams, trying to fight to make it to the playoffs, they're actually in a playoff push right now.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Here's Tannehill. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Here's Hill on the return. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Again, he'll drop to throw. On the move to his left. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown run.
And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here this first half.
And this is a balancing act for a head coach with a rookie quarterback. You've got to walk a line with him. You don't want him getting happy feet, but you also don't want to rein in what worked for him in college. And here, he pulls it down, takes it himself, and takes it into the end zone.
Sanders now to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And a tough turnover there, as now they will have it at the 6-yard line, 1st and goal.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field.
And they can run this score up even further as they begin this drive with a 1st and goal and that huge lead.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. He'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown! Dawson Knox, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season.
And the Dolphins open the lead up to 34-0.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, what, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Sanders on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position and only one play to score it. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee and they'll take over at the 25.
Tennessee offense set to go again. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now Tannehill. And he's going to go down again. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
The Dolphins going to take their second timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down.
Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. So they couldn't get anything there, Charles. Now 4th down from their own 2, and a bad situation, to be frank, for the special teams.
Yeah, if you are the punting team now, your number one thing is protect the punter, because you got to think they may actually come after him trying to get a big play.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Touchdown, Dolphins! Dawson Knox on his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Tannehill.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So the 2 teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up in the Still City, Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Mac Jones, sharp in the victory, as his guys find the win column for just the second time all year. From there, we head down south to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. Desmond Ridder, another terrific performance as his guys up their record now to 11 up and 2 down. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City, see what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Detroit Lions. Jared Goff, sharp in the victory, as his guys get back within a game of 500. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Braxton Berrios selected to bring it out.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. He's past the 30. He will score. Touchdown, Miami.
Talk about taking words and bringing them to life. At halftime, I will guarantee you in their locker room, they talk about pressing the kicking game because you can get an advantage if you do it right, and they just did.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25.
The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
He'll set up to throw from the gun.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now it's Tannehill. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Tannehill. He'll fight his man, Laviska Shenault.
Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Hill shedding the tackle. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the Dolphins getting set to go here.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I,
have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Third quarter from Miami. This is 2nd and 10.
They'll set up to throw.
Getting this out to the flat, Mostert.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
They'll look to throw again. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Dawson Knox, a 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Well, to put it mildly, he's been able to dice up this secondary all game long. And this time, that was a missile that he threw into the end zone and adding another touchdown to his ledger.
And I think we see these youngsters develop a lot quicker than we ever have because when they get started in this game, they're not just throwing passes around. They're reading coverages early. So now they're like seasoned pros earlier in their career. How about this one here? If they win this ball game, a game ball, definitely coming from his head coach.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Titans getting set and ready to go here for their next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but...
And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Sanders on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
The Titans now just about ready to take over. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Henry up the middle. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long. Here's Tannehill. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. On now is the Titans punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll take it at the 42.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very
He's got him in. Complete. Touchdown. Tyreek Hill standing alone with a new NFL record 32nd touchdown.
And the Dolphins get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Well, partner, I mean, if anybody was still questioning whether or not he had an NFL caliber arm, I think you could toss that right out the window. That was a heck of a throw right there.
I would agree totally. Question it no more. This rookie, big-time throw right there. Great poise, stepped up, trusted he could lay it in there perfectly, and he knew that his guy was going to make the catch on the other end. Nice collaboration.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
Well, still in the 3rd quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
Back now in Miami. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
Christian Wilkins make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than...
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Emmanuel Ogbah, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points. Down by 4 touchdowns. Haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously, a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
So 3rd and long after the sack. Tough task for Tannehill and the Titans.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout that's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On now is the Titans punter as he'll come on to kick this one away.
Now Hill to return it.
Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return.
Dolphins offense returning to the field. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate.
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown.
Raheem Mostert with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
On second down, here's Tannehill.
Over the middle into the hands of Burks.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Now the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Fielded just inside the 20. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So possession goes over here on the punt. So now here come the Dolphins.
And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 74 yards rushing now from Mostert as he picks up a first down.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
A quick slant to Hill.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 31-yard line. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Now this one probably not the close game you would expect or hope to see in prime time, CD, but of course that wasn't their intent in preparing for this one. They said they felt like their offense was ready to put up some points, and my goodness, it has been a dominant display in front of a national audience.
Yeah, they thought it, and it certainly came to fruition, didn't it? They've been dominant in so many ways in this one. If you weren't paying attention to this group before, You certainly are now after seeing this type of victory from them.
And pretty good pursuit there defensively. He's brought down, no gain on the play. Second down coming up.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Shoves him aside. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. That one looks like he'll throw here. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
So now the Dolphin offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2. They'll look to throw. And they're just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
Out come the Titans now.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film section tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Back to throw, Tannehill.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
One last throw here for Tannehill.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Dolphins, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Titans, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.